Well, it is January the 26th, 2020, Sunday. Nice sunshiny day. Pepperoni's just kind of like, vegging out in my lap. We are with InaDay.
Hey.
InaDay rocks. She did the AT last year, yes. And we were going to just chit-chat. She's bringing me back to the trail because she's awesome. Yay! And I want to hit a topic that has not been hit on my channel yet, and it's something that I've gone through, and it's very rarely talked about with hikers, and it's post-trail depression. So it's coming off trail and going back into the domestic life and that transition period that some people never come out of. I don't. So can you tell people what happened instantly after you finished Katahdin? So you've left the mountain. You're in Millinocket, I assume you went to the town there.
Yeah.
What started going through your head right then and there?
What next?
What next?
Where do I go? What do I do? How do I function? I'm just used to looking for white blazes and walking forward, and then all of a sudden it's completely different. So I actually got in my car and started crisscrossing the AT all the way down. Actually went all the way down to Florida, but doing trail magic, I just wanted to give back and still be part of the community. And it was really strange stopping because all of a sudden it's done, and you're almost like a husband. You're done. It was past, and so it's like, how do you get back on? And people that know the trail and hikers and know about this are really helpful in helping you readjust. But those that don't really understand. So you gravitate towards our hiker family, because they get it and they understand. And I had no clue. I mean, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I don't think it ever goes away. I think it's just once it becomes part of you, it's part of you.
So you revisited the trail, you did magic and some day hikes and stuff, but wasn't the same as being on the trail.
No.
What happened to your functionality, your domestic life? Did you still have a home? Did you change? How was it going back into a car? Let's hit the home and the car topics.
The car thing was, that was kind of traumatic. I sat in my car for half an hour because it was in Millinocket. So I just kind of contemplated, how do I do this? I mean, I know it's like riding a bike. You do it again, but you're not going, 2-3 miles an hour. You're going a heck of a lot faster. So you got to really pay attention a lot.
It was basically just like first time back in a car, and it was really creeped out.
Oh, totally. Yeah. People look at you like you're kind of strange. It's like, well, how can that be? But unless you experience it yourself, I was on the trail for 6 months and a day, and you, I don't know, you just, your life is so simple. That's what I was discussing with people. Your decisions are very simple, where do I get water? Where do I put my foot? Where do I eventually pitch my tent? And when you get back out into our society, there are gazillion decisions that we have to make every minute. You're driving a car, turn on the blinker, watch for this, all of these things, and it becomes overwhelming, and it really gives you a picture into where our civilization has gone. Just all of these decisions that are on us all the time, and we get used to functioning in it. And when we go back to simplicity, we realize how much we burden we carry in functioning in our technological society, and there's pros and cons, of course.
Making it through 3 or 4 days on a single battery charge of your phone, and figuring out how to manipulate your settings to do that. Resupplies in 4 days.
Oh yeah.
Got to put a piece of duct tape on some gear because there's a hole.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, you got to dig a hole to poop once in a while. Yeah.
Simple. Yeah. And, the peeing outdoors, I kind of missed that.
So you summited, what was it, August, July?
No, September.
September
18.
September,
Yep.
October, November, December. So you've only been off trail 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And you're still lost.
Feels totally.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. It has gotten a little better, but now I feel kind of I'm in between. You know, I don't know. I need to get back on trail. I'm trying to get things situated so that I can get back on trail.
Well, I know there's been a little turtle bugging you quite a bit, saying, well, all you have to do is grab your backpack.
I tell you, I went for a hike last week up in Tennessee, and I got my pack on. It wasn't fully, it was loaded, but it wasn't really heavy. And I got my poles on, and it just felt like I got my wings back, and it just felt so natural and so good, you know, just to be out there, and it's my element to be out and in nature and in just the observations that we see and do, and it's just, you have to follow your heart and not hear or not take into consideration or weigh it too heavy what other people think that you should do. You know, so many people are like, well, where are you going to live? I sold everything. I got rid of everything. And so it's a little different because I have no home per se to go to.
Did you do that before you did the trail?
Yeah.
Okay. So you killed off you killed off your domestic life prior to trail.
Yeah.
So when you got done trail, you went back to blah. Everything was over.
Yeah. So I spent, like I said, 40 days with a buddy who I had summited with, and just went across the trail, just trying to figure out what to do next, and, you know, kind of to figure out where my orientation was, and I still don't know. I'm still going around in circles.
But you know, you are going circles, but here we are. It's actually our destination. We'll do this during the interview. It's that Babylon right there is where we got to go. So it's been 3.5 months, and I'm going to say this out loud, and I'm looking in your car. So this is very common. This is very common with hikers with post-trail depression. They literally crunch their vehicle and they search because we're so lost. We have no problem with tight spaces. A car is actually huge.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure you can relate to the space is one of the major issues we deal with. This is fine. And to go into a home and have all that space is very, very overwhelming. And a vehicle is like one of the most neutral things and we can move. We have to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving is, it's key. I need to just get like antsy feet and it can't stay too long for any one place. My friends are like, you've just become like a butterfly. You just like land for a little bit, and then it's like, I don't know how long I can stay. I don't know, because if it just gets to that point, it's like, okay, I gotta go. I love you, but I gotta go.
I gotta go do something.
Move. Just movement is just is huge. That's awesome. So this is kind of the car thing is it's heavyweight. Yeah, it's like a backpack solution.
I've lived in my car the most 9 months, so I've gone through this every time I've been off trail. Just so everybody knows, this is very, very, very normal. If you live in your car after you're done a hike, you're fine. Yeah. It's okay. I
just gotta get rid of more stuff so I can, really live in the car
instead
of exactly
more let go.
And it's been a huge process. I mean, the whole letting go, but man, is it liberating. You don't have to worry about stuff. We don't need stuff. Our society tells us
carry your needs, not your wants.
Yes. And then if you have something that you want, like lights in your tent.
My little 1.7 ounce light kit with the remote control. Yes, and it makes me so happy. And
these things that bring us joy.
Something like
not burden but joy.
Well, I really appreciate the share, and I know everybody out there is going to appreciate because I haven't had a chance to interview many ladies that have done. Actually, you might be the first one that's done a trail, and definitely the first share on post depression. So I really appreciate that. So everybody say goodbye.
Bye.